life, the bright lights, the type the crowd likes. Where you at, ballers? Ladies love me and men, they wanna be me, they pay to come see me. Where you at, ballers?
Bulls at Pistons, divisional basketball in the Central. 7 o'clock in Detroit. A top lean in this game, Chicago -9.5. This is the final home game for Detroit of the season. And the schedule makers are not giving them any favors with this calendar spot. This is a home one-off, coming off a loss in Philadelphia, and a home road front-end back-to-back, having to travel to Dallas tomorrow night. Detroit was very competent this year against the spread, despite their terrible outright record. But in recent history, they are cratering without Cade Cunningham in the lineup. Detroit is 4-10 ATS in their last 14, 1-5 ATS last 6 at home. And Chicago is the polar opposite. Chicago needs this game for positioning in the playoffs and home court advantage in the play-in tournament against Atlanta, which will be very important to play at the United Center as opposed to down in Atlanta. Chicago, since the turn of the new year, is 8-13 ATS at home, far better on the road, 14-8 ATS. And this is a situational revenge game for the Bulls, having taken a home loss on February 27th to Detroit, 105-95. Key point on that game, Chicago shot 2 for 29 from the three-point line. That is 6.9%. I believe that is the lowest percentage this year for any team shooting over 25 threes in a game. A complete, utter anomaly. You don't expect that to continue tonight, and books certainly don't either. Laying 9.5 on the road, a very significant number. The only time this year Chicago played in this gym, they were laying -2.5. This indicating a margin win by 12 at minimum. A top lean in this game, NBA shot clock, a lean or an official on every game by the Bulls at -9.5, and let's cash this ticket.
Warriors at Blazers. Junior Browne back with NBA shot clock on this Thursday, April 11th with another free pick, and we're rocking with the Golden State Warriors in the first half, -7.5. The motivation is pretty clear for the Golden State Warriors. If they can avoid the Lakers, their preference would be to do that. Now, they lost a play-in game a couple of years ago to the Lakers. They don't want to have to go in LA and have to win there. The Lakers have been one of the better teams in the league for the last 2 months. On the flip side, obviously the Warriors have no fear of the Kings. They went into Sacramento, eliminated them in a Game 7 very recently in the playoffs. And on top of that, the Sacramento Kings are extremely banged up. So, motivation-wise, there's a lot still to play for if you're the Golden State Warriors, who have played very well. They finally have Klay Thompson rolling over the last 10 games. He's averaging like 24 a game on 40% shooting from three, and he's taking like 11 threes a game. So he's getting them up there, and he's making them. So if you can get Klay at his best with playoffs rolling around, Andrew Wiggins is finally showing life. That he remembers how to be an NBA player. Jonathan Kuminga's playing well. They're all actually playing well at the exact same time. So give me the motivated team who have a big-time blockbuster game against New Orleans Pelicans, especially depending on what happens in the Pelicans-Kings game. If the Pelicans beat the Kings tonight, you can expect Golden State to really bring their A game tomorrow. I mean, regardless, it's a big game. So I look at it this way. The Portland Trail Blazers, the season's been over for a while. The Golden State Warriors are already in the playoffs. These are not official playoff games, but if you just look at the standings and you look at what they represent, Golden State is already in the playoffs. So give me the motivated team, -7.5 in the first half, especially with a game tomorrow night. Let's cash another ticket, y'all.
Knicks at Celtics, 7:30 p.m. in Boston. NBA shot clock on this Thursday, April the 11th, 2024. Best bet of the day, New York Knicks +2, 1 unit. This is the final road game of the year for the Knicks, and they are showing momentum to close this campaign on the road, coming off of very impressive wins at Milwaukee and at Chicago. New York currently has the 3 seed in the conference, but these games are effectively playoff games because there's only 3 games separating the 3 and the 8 seed. The definition of a must-win. This is also the 5th matchup of the year between Boston and New York. Unprecedented stuff due to the in-season tournament. And Boston is 4-0 straight up and 4-0 ATS against the Knicks. It's hard to sweep 4 games against one team in your division in 1 year, let alone 5. And Boston is sitting with the 1 seed in conference with literally nothing to play for, sitting their starters in the 4th quarter. The last 2 times New York played in Boston, on November 13th and December 8th. Margin wins by Boston, -9.5, -7.5, now a -4 open. Books telling you this is the Knicks spot, this is the motivational spot. It is incredibly difficult to go 5-0 against one team in your division in 1 year. It is the best bet of the day. The buy hat is engaged. New York Knicks +2, 1 unit. Let's dominate.
Pelicans at Kings. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Thursday, April 11th with another free pick, and we're rocking with the Pelicans +1. Pretty simple cap for me. I'm getting the better team on a short line. The line is already indicating to you that the Pelicans are the better team, which is why Sacramento's only -1 at home. On top of that, with all of the injury issues that Sacramento has, first of all, since Malik Monk injured himself, De'Aaron Fox is averaging 39 minutes a game. Keegan Murray's minutes are up to like 36, 37. Sabonis' minutes are in the mid-30s. And now apparently Keegan Murray might not even play in this game today, and he's really stepped up big time. He's actually moved up to 2nd on the team in field goal attempts while Malik Monk has been out, much more than Sabonis actually, because Sabonis is the facilitator on this team. And Murray's also been stepping up when it comes to rebounds and just his switchability, right? He's a really big guy with length who can move his feet so he can guard multiple positions. So now you've taken out Monk, you've taken out Keegan Murray, and you're without Herder, who had shoulder surgery, who ended his season. That's 3 of your top 6 players not playing on a roster that's really not that deep. And if you look at the guys who are getting the minutes to replace the guys that are out, it's a lot of heavy lifting for much less talented players. So with everything that's on the line, with the way the Pelicans look lately, especially with CJ McCollum cooking, it's really nice to see that he stepped up with Brandon Ingram out, because when Brandon Ingram was in, wasn't really feeling how CJ was playing, but you know, it's not so easy being the 3rd wheel. So I do understand from that perspective. The timing is perfect for the Pelicans that CJ would be cooking headed into the playoffs. He's actually averaging more points than Zion Williamson since Brandon Ingram got hurt. So with him cooking, with Zion looking like he's going to play, he's been healthy for a while. He missed 1 game recently, but that was just rest. If they can get Troy Murphy III to start making shots, and he's starting to get hot the last couple of games, I just think that the Pelicans are a much better basketball team than the Kings as presently constructed. And the Pelicans are not trying to be in the play-in game, so they have a ton of motivation going into this one. Give me the better team on a short line. Pelicans +1, best bet of the day. Just cash another ticket, y'all.
Rockets at Jazz, 9 o'clock, Salt Lake City at the Delta Center. A top lead in this game, Houston -3.5. Neither team in this matchup can compete for the playoffs, as both have been eliminated. So you ask yourself, where is the motivation in this game? I think it's pretty clear. After Houston just took Dallas to overtime in Dallas and then hammered Orlando at home in their previous game, this team is incredibly well coached by Ime Udoka with a young roster, and they want to finish over 500, a significant accomplishment off previous campaigns, which were highly, highly lackluster. Utah is the opposite side of this environment, tanking the season, gutting their roster, trying to get a better draft pick, sitting all of their top quality NBA players, and really fielding what looks like a G League roster at this point in the year. Houston is 7-5 ATS on the road since the All-Star game. Very impressive. And Utah is 2-7 ATS last night at home. Utah did cover a game on March 19th against Houston at the Delta Center, 101-100, and we don't expect another cover from Utah tonight. The line is heavy, the steam is on it, the motivation is clearly on Houston. I'll lean in this game for you guys. If you want to bet it, bet Houston at -3.5, and let's cash this ticket.